They called it the trade of the century. Number 99, Wayne
Gretzky. Number 10, Brett Favre to the New York Jets. After an exceptional 16-year run with the Green Bay Packers that included a Super Bowl 31 victory and 3 MVP seasons, Brett Favre retired in 2008.
I think we all know why I'm here. First of all, sorry I'm late, but I am officially retiring from the NFL and Green Bay Packers.
But he soon changed his mind. By then, the Packers were ready to pass the baton to young quarterback Aaron Rodgers, which meant Favre would be traded. Favre preferred to be sent to the Buccaneers or Vikings.
We all thought Tampa Bay was a front runner. What happened there?
I think that Tampa Bay waited to hear back from Green Bay. It never actually did.
The Buccaneers felt like they were in the driver's seat, but it was the Jets who ultimately secured the quarterback in exchange for a conditional 4th-round draft pick. Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum called it the most unpredictable trade he'd ever made. As for Favre, he found out he was not going to his preferred destination while watching ESPN.
I'm not going to sit here and blame it all on one side or the other. A lot of things happened this offseason, a lot of shocking things. I think we're both at fault. Who's at fault more? It's a matter of opinion.
Number 9, Kevin Garnett to the Boston Celtics. By the summer of 2007, the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise player Kevin Garnett had been with the team for 12 seasons, the longest tenure of any player with one NBA team at the time.
He's got KG training.
During that stretch, he won an MVP award and was a perennial All-Star, regularly earning All-NBA and All-Defensive Team selections. With trade talks swirling, the idea of Garnett, aka the big ticket, in another uniform seemed strange. Boston in particular seemed off the table after KG had openly expressed that he didn't want to play there, and his agent said it wasn't happening. But it did.
On this day in 2007, the Boston Celtics pulled off a blockbuster trade acquiring Kevin Garnett from the Minnesota Timberwolves.
First, the Celtics acquired another perennial All-Star, Ray Allen, in a blockbuster trade. A few weeks later, in an even more shocking deal, they landed Garnett.
When Boston traded for Ray Allen, the whole situation changed for me.
Number 8, Mike Piazza to the New York Mets. In 1998, as the struggling Florida Marlins looked to cut payroll, they found a trade partner in the Los Angeles Dodgers, who hadn't been able to agree to a contract extension with Mike Piazza.
The trade unfolded almost in slow motion.
Several players, including a big-name one in Gary Sheffield, were sent to LA. Going the other direction was Piazza, an elite hitting catcher in the prime of his career.
So often we talk about strong hitters when they get on top of the ball and hit ground balls. They get that real hard spin. The ball takes off when it hits the ground.
In fact, he was arguably the best hitting catcher at the time. But what makes what happened to the star player truly stunning is what transpired next. After just a week with the Marlins, he was traded again to the New York Mets. As Piazza put it himself, it was a bizarre experience.
We knew that as soon as we announced that we were getting Mike Piazza, it was going to blow the world up, and it did in New York baseball.
Number 7, Patrick Waugh to the Colorado Avalanche. On December 2nd, 1995, the Montreal Canadiens were getting pummeled on their home ice by the Detroit Red Wings.
Well, let's face it, Patrick Waugh has absolutely no chance on this play. But Patrick Waugh is going to have to adapt to the way this big line is playing for the Wings. You have to stay on your feet. They're passing it so much that Patrick Waugh is overcommitting as he does here.
Fans may have been wondering why all-time great goaltender Patrick Waugh was still in the game as the opponent continued to extend its insurmountable lead. When first-year head coach Mario Tremblay finally decided to sub out Waugh, the goalie walked to the bench and told the team president it was his last game with the team.
Patrick Waugh just went over and said something to Corey, and I'm not so sure what it was, but he went right to him. That'll be even more of a story tomorrow.
Waugh, who had a poor relationship with Tremblay, felt that his coach kept him in the net to humiliate him. Just 4 days later, Waugh was traded to the Colorado Avalanche for what many considered an insufficient return. That was the final act of a shocking turn of events.
True to his word, Régent Houle wasted little time in trading Patrick Waugh, acquiescing as well to Waugh's wishes to be dealt to a contending club.
Number 6, Wilt Chamberlain to the Philadelphia 76ers. In his rookie season with the Philadelphia Warriors, Wilt Chamberlain won the MVP award.
Chamberlain immediately asserted his dominance, averaging 38 points and 27 rebounds. As a rookie, he had climbed to the top of the league.
2 seasons later, he averaged an astonishing record 50.4 points per game. After the franchise was then sold and relocated in 1962, Chamberlain went on to continue his dominance with the San Francisco Warriors. However, halfway through his 3rd season there, the Big Dipper was sent back to Philadelphia, where the team was now known as the 76ers.
When the trade was made to bring him back to Philadelphia from San Francisco, I mean, the media just went crazy. I mean, he was like, for a couple of weeks, it was the #1 front page story in the city.
1 championship and 3 consecutive MVPs later, Chamberlain was traded again, this time to the Lakers. While it was unprecedented to see a reigning MVP traded, the fact that Chamberlain requested this move makes it slightly less astounding than his 1965 trade to the 76ers.
He said, I want to be traded, and I want to be traded to a West Coast team. And we got Darrell Imhoff and Archie Clark and Jerry Chambers for Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt went to the Lakers.
Number 5, Randy Moss to the New England Patriots. A player of Randy Moss's caliber getting traded was sure to turn heads, especially a trade to a team that had won 3 Super Bowls in the previous 6 years.
The Patriots and Raiders making it official, Oakland sending disgruntled yet talented wide receiver Randy Moss to New England for a 4th-round draft pick.
After being traded from the Minnesota Vikings to the Oakland Raiders in 2005, Moss endured 2 disappointing seasons in Oakland. Rumors swirled that he'd get traded leading up to the 2007 NFL Draft.
It was just something that was good for both sides at this time.
That night, the Green Bay Packers were confident they'd secure him, but the New England Patriots and their head coach Bill Belichick had other ideas. Moss first thought a call from Belichick was a prank. Just hours later, the trade went through. The Packers were caught off guard and eyes were opened as the powerhouse Patriots paired an all-time great receiver with Tom Brady.
I'm just very happy to find some happiness and getting back to what I love to do, and that's play football and go out there and compete.
Number 4, Alex Rodriguez to the New York Yankees. By the time he joined the Texas Rangers, Alex Rodriguez was considered one of baseball's best players after his time in Seattle.
High fly ball hit deep into right center field, and Ichiro looks up. A-Rod has his 52nd.
He kept up his stellar play and racked up accolades with the Rangers between 2001 and 2003. Trading the best shortstop in the MLB made for a staggering headline. Not only did he get traded, but A-Rod was headed to the most successful franchise in the sport, the New York Yankees, where he'd play 3rd base.
I've come to a point in my career where winning is the most important thing. Aside from all personal accolades, I think I've done a lot there, but winning is the most important thing.
Another layer to this shocking blockbuster deal is the fact that the Rangers had initially agreed to trade Rodriguez to the Yankees' rivals, the Boston Red Sox. However, the MLB Players Association denied the proposed contract restructuring that would have been necessary for that move.
A-Rod signed it. He should have been a Red Sox, but the Players Association killed it at the 11th hour, 12th hour, I should say.
Number 3, Luka Dončić to the Los Angeles Lakers and Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. The most shocking trade in NBA history went down before the 2025 NBA trade deadline, as Luka Dončić and Anthony Davis were swapped.
Where were you all on Saturday night when the most shocking trade in NBA history came down? I had to make sure Shams didn't get hacked. We're going to cover every angle of this shocking deal that sent Luka Dončić to Los Angeles for Anthony Davis.
No one even knew these superstars were in trade discussions until the news broke, sending shockwaves through social media. Even in the digital age, there had been zero speculation, making it all the more astonishing. The players themselves were shocked.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first.
The Dallas Mavericks got one of the league's best big men in the 31-year-old Davis. But the hardest part to imagine was Dončić, a top-tier talent, at just 25 getting traded. But he did, to the Los Angeles Lakers, almost 50 years after their blockbuster trade for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had wanted out of Milwaukee. This Luka ad trade tops that on the shock meter.
It was the trade that rocked the NBA world over the weekend, the Mavs sending Luka Dončić to the Lakers for Anthony Davis.
Number 2, Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings. After a rough start to the 1989 NFL season, the Dallas Cowboys felt a significant change was necessary to get their franchise back on track.
It is mind-boggling that we were able to make this deal. One owner said it's
The great train robbery.
That change would be trading away arguably their best player in two-time Pro Bowl running back Herschel Walker. Some, including the Minnesota Vikings, believed Walker was the missing piece to a potential Super Bowl run.
Herschel could be on his way to the Super Bowl, while the Cowboys could be on their way to the toilet bowl.
The mere fact that he got traded from the Cowboys to the Vikings wasn't the only element of shock in this blockbuster. The magnitude of this deal was absurd, involving an exchange of 18 players and draft picks, the largest trade in NFL history.
The fundamentals behind the trade were draft picks for the future to build for the Dallas Cowboys, but at the very same time, have players involved that could contribute immediately in 1989 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Number 1, Wayne Gretzky to the Los Angeles Kings. For 8 straight years between 1980 and 1987, Wayne Gretzky was named the NHL's most valuable player.
The Great One had become the greatest during the 1981-82 season when he shattered the existing regular season goal record of 76 on the way to netting 92 of his own. He also became the first player to ever record more than 200 points, a feat that still stands today.
Within that same time frame, he led the league in scoring for 7 consecutive seasons. By 1988, at age 27, the Edmonton Oilers icon had a lengthy list of records to his name and was already widely considered the greatest hockey player of all time.
The 1984 victory over the Islanders was just the beginning of a glorious ride. Gretzky led the Oilers to 4 Stanley Cups in 5 years.
The Edmonton Oilers have won their 4th Stanley Cup championship. They are a dynasty.
Yet despite all of that and the fact that Gretzky had led the Oilers to 4 Stanley Cups, the Canadian national icon was traded to the Los Angeles Kings in a deal that stunned the hockey world. The Great One had still been dominating the NHL and was the face of the league. It seemed unfathomable for him to get traded, but he was.
When they traded him from Edmonton to Los Angeles, a whole nation got caught up in this. And people still haven't forgiven Peter Pocklington for doing that deed.
Is there a player you wish your favorite sports team would trade for? Let us know in the comments.
This news of Shams' original post was so stunning that he had to put out another tweet saying, quote, "Yes, this is real."
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.